For this reflection, I'm going to talk about Chapter 9 of Corey Floyd's Interpersonal Communication, specifically relationship maintenance behaviors and how the everyday ways we communicate can strengthen or weaken our personal relationships over time. I picked this topic because I think people spend a lot of time talking about how relationships begin, but not nearly as much time talking about what it actually takes to keep them healthy. One idea I kept coming back to while reading this chapter was that relationships don't stay strong on their own. Chapter 9 explains that relationship maintenance behaviors are the communication habits people use to keep their relationship satisfying over time. These include things like showing appreciation, spending quality time together, being open and honest, offering reassurance, and making an effort to support one another. None of those behaviors are especially dramatic, but that's kind of the point. They're meant to happen consistently, not just when something is wrong. That idea made me rethink what people usually consider to be signs of a healthy relationship. A lot of the time we notice the big moments, like birthdays, anniversaries, or major disagreements. But after reading this chapter, it seems like the smaller interactions between those moments are what really shape a relationship over time. A simple conversation, remembering to check in with someone, or following through on a promise can communicate just as much as a bigger gesture. This chapter also reminded me that these ideas apply to friendships just as much as romantic relationships. Since being in college, I've realized how easy it is for everyone to get busy with classes, work, and other responsibilities. Friendships don't usually end because of one big argument. They often fade because people slowly stop making time for each other. That made this chapter feel really practical because maintaining a friendship sometimes just means making the effort to stay connected. The chapter also emphasizes that relationships are usually more satisfying and lasting when people consistently engage in these maintenance behaviors. I like that idea because it shows that healthy relationships aren't based on luck or compatibility alone. They depend on regular communication that lets other people know they are valued and important. One thing I kept thinking about is how technology fits into all of this. We're connected almost all the time through texting and social media, but I don't think constant communication automatically means a relationship is being maintained. You can talk to someone every day without really checking in on how they're doing or showing that you care. To me, that suggests meaningful communication is probably more valuable than just frequent communication. After reading this chapter, I think I'll pay more attention to the small things that happen in my own relationships because those seem to have a bigger impact than I realized. It's easy to assume that relationships stay strong because they've lasted a long time, but Chapter 9 argues that they stay strong because people continue putting effort into them. The question I was left with is, do you think healthy relationships are mostly built through everyday habits, or do you think the big moments are what people remembered and value the most?